starting.
No. Oh, okay. Well, now we are going to start talking about the Innovation Award winners of March, starting from the JS classes and some live transmission started at the same time. Anyway, now I'm going to hand over to Arthur that is going to start commenting on the winners of March JS classes.
Yes, already ahead of you. Yes, you see my
Yeah,
screen shared. I'm ready.
yeah, and I have an inception effect here if I can.
Awesome effect. Love it all the time.
Yes, it's only Google can do this thing. Okay, so we have like 3 packages. Which ones would you like to comment? Oh, certainly comment on your own.
Yeah, we'll have to probably. So the first package is jQuery aggregate. Basically, it was developed by Emil Kilage from Sweden, and it's sort of like Excel AutoSum function. So basically, we would have. Let me check if there is. Yeah. So we would have multiple inputs with values, and then we would aggregate the sum to one specific other element field. So by calling this, we would simply sum up all of the values of these inputs and answer number here. I know if they're retroactive, like if they're listening, so if you change number, it will change too. I did not check.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. It's like a spreadsheet that you have calculated the cells, and with that you can actually automate maybe some forms, maybe some order entry that you show the totals of the order. Okay, so what you're going to say? Show.
It seems you need to call get all the time. So yeah, you can bin the get to the key up listener, for example, and you would have this automatically too. Okay, and there is no price, I think, for Emil.
Yeah, there are some delays because there are some problems to communicate. I think it was with Pact and O'Reilly, but it is sorted now, and maybe that was one of the prizes that is not communicated yet. Okay, so now I think you were going to comment on package, right?
Yep, so it's a count with SDK for Node.js. I have one similar submitted for WebJS, and on one side they may seem kind of similar. They shared some code base, but on the other side, the metrics and the way you track it on server is something completely different than you would do on the website and front end. But yeah, the idea is similar. Their SDK is collecting data and sending to the Countly server, and it was developed by me.
Who would guess? So I see. I actually didn't quite get it quite right. I thought it. So those events are reported from Node.js directly, or do you mean browser side events reported to Node.js and Node.js reports to Countly?
No, this is directly from Node.js. If you want to run analytics on a Node.js server, so like for example, IoT device like Raspberry Pi can be its own like server and sending events about who connects, for example, or stuff like that. So you can select what data you want to collect, or are they alive, are they online, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Well, I also will comment on another package if the inception method is not getting the way. Basically, there are like there's this WebDAV client. And this WebDAV is, I think, it's very old protocol on top of HTTP to manage files on a remote server. So it sends requests to the web server that you may be having WebDAV running. It's an extension of HTTP. So it would take standard commands that, for instance, from browser-side client in JavaScript, which is the case, that sends those requests via AJAX. So this package developed by Dom Hastings. It is interesting because if you have a WebDAV running on a server, you can do several things, not just manage files. You can browse them, preview files like fonts, videos, and images, and even create some directories for you to manage the files that you want to eventually submit there. So this is an interesting package, but we only had 3 nominees. So we move on to the rankings of Innovation Award in another JavaScript in 2017 so far by author Emil Kilaz with the 3 packages and 11 points is ahead, first place. Then follows Martin Barker with 2 packages in 9 points from United Kingdom. Then Martin Latter, the other Martin from United Kingdom with 1 package and 5 points, followed by Anders Toth, 1 package and 3 points. Then Arthur Stossen, 1 package and 3 points is tied. Also with Jeremy Judo from China. And then in 7th place comes Leonardo Mauro Pereira Moraes from Brazil.
I could have guessed that he's from Brazil.
Yeah, because of the flag. The flag.
No, because of the long name.
Yeah. Sometimes people, it's not common to put long names. Usually it's just the first and the last. But some people just like to show their own family's names. Anyway, is tied with Theo Iwowski, David Normington, and Tom Loprod from Spain, with 1 package and 2 points. By author, the rankings are more or less similar. Like first, there is United Kingdom with 5 packages and 17 points. Then Sweden with 3 packages and 11 points. Hungary is tied with Latvia, China with 1 package and 3 points. Then comes Brazil, Germany, and Spain with 1 package and 2 points. So this is for the JavaScript Innovation Award. For the PHP Innovation Award, you usually have much more nominees. So for March, we had 13 nominees. Okay, Arthur, which ones would you like to comment first?
Okay, let me go in this order. So PHP, first one is PHP JSON query, and basically it allows you to query JSON data. You have a JSON object and you can query in an XPath similar element like you would query the XML file. It was developed by Nahid bin Ajar from Bangladesh. And I think here you can see the simple example. So here you have some JSON that you imported from a file, and then you find node users where attribute ID is equal to 6, for example, and you get the result. So yeah, something like this, a queryable mechanism to query JSON data. If you have large documents, you want to see some subset of it, then this could be useful. And now he chose one downloadable copy of Komodo ID for this package. Next one is a media converter. So it can convert audio and video. And here are the available formats: 3GP, MP3, AVI, basic, all popular formats. And it also can generate GIF or GIF, I don't remember what was the correct pronunciation, files as a previews of these videos.
I say GIF, but I know. I usually say GIF.
Yeah,
a
me too,
discussion.
because it's more Latvian way too. But I think there was recently a discussion about this, and the author who invented the format, he explained how it should be pronounced, but I don't remember the correct version right now.
Okay, never mind. Who cares?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this package was displayed by Sergey Vanyushin from Russia, and he got one PHP Storm ID 1 year individual subscription for this package.
Yeah.
A PHP code fixer, find deprecated functions and variables in PHP. Probably very big project and should be very popular with all the breaking compatibilities between PHP 7 older versions and what's coming in the new version. This should be a top package, I think, and it should be updated constantly. So it should be also quite a work for the author, who is Sergey Vanyushin, that we just also mentioned from Russia. But yeah, I really think this package has a huge potential, but it also requires a large amount of work to put in it.
Yeah, but it's quite useful, as you said,
Yeah.
because if you have large code bases that for some reason you finally decided that it's time to migrate to newer versions, you probably have a lot of work. So packages like this can be very useful.
Yeah. So okay, yeah, he already got his price. The next one is PHP dominant color. So it takes one image, finds the most dominant color of that image, and then it can create one by one pixel image for you of this cover to use as a background, for example.
Yeah.
And it was developed by Arnel Lobarda from Philippines, and he got a one big LPHP plush mascot. I
Yes,
think.
I hope so, because just mailed me that he did not get his elephant yet, but I checked in the tracking, it should be en route. I think it's a bit complicated that the Philippines has many highlands, but it will get there, and soon we have pictures.
Yeah, I think all others already have elephants, all before, so he was the first one to snatch it from others.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes people do not believe that the elephant is available for picking. And, okay,
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
it's
Uh,
not the first month that happens. Usually, it's the first prize that people, oh, I want that elephant. Then there are also cases that authors that already got elephants before and they are happy with them. But okay, let's move on.
file pager output files split into pages of limited length. That's actually quite useful. For example, we have a log file which tend to grow pretty huge, and for example, if we would want displayed in web UI, that we could split it into pages, like it says here. So it was developed by Edgar Asatrian from Armenia, and
Yeah,
yeah, I think that
yeah.
this could be really useful.
This is for text files, not
Yeah, of
for
course, obviously.
web
Like,
content.
yeah, I
Like
say like a log file, for example.
exactly, and sometimes, usually the log lines do not have the same length, so it has to have some algorithm to measure the the number of lines until it wraps and so on.
Mm,
Okay.
okay. And the last one is a PHP word search in array, but not just array. It searches the words in two-dimensional arrays. It can search it in the columns, rows, or in even diagonals. So it's like a game, like a crossword puzzle that you have a grid with many letters, and then you need to find all the words, or it's just as a number of words that you need to find, for example. Yeah, so it would be a solver for such puzzles, a class that could solve them. It was developed by Ravindu Davisha from Sri Lanka, and Ravindu got one downloadable ebook of choice by O'Reilly for this package. I don't know if we can see any example loading. Yeah, so you can import uh, the line separated words, and it would create an array, and then you can search in them. I think that's it on my part.
Okay, I also like to comment on the remaining packages. And first, I'd like to comment some that seem more interesting for me. One is PHPF. It is to reformat scripts according to a coding style. It was developed by Subin Subi from India. And it basically can take some code that you have and reformat it according to some styles like HPP style. I'm not sure about this style, but okay. Then there is PSR1 and PSR2. So this is interesting for those that have some significant code base that needs to be reformatted to match some style that may be more convenient for some project.
Interesting.
Usually
So
projects.
does it parse it into like abstract syntax tree or something like that, or just some
No,
general
I
string
think
replace?
it just no, I think it just uses the tokenizer extension of
Oh,
PHP
I see. Yeah,
and
that's
then rewrites it accordingly to the tokens that it gets. So this is interesting as this package. And the other package that I also want to comment, this is seems simple. It's PHP time zones by Peter Kahl. He's from Hong Kong. And what it does is to retrieve the list of all the time zones that are known, and it can even validate if you have a time zone with the correct code. And it also takes the time and returns the time offsets. So if you have to deal with the time zones in your application, this package can be very, very useful because you know, in the world there are many time zones, and it's something that you probably don't have it hard coded in your package in your applications, but this package can actually be used for that. I also like to comment on this package by Michael Cummings. It is a PHP OL conversion. And this does something that it may be useful, especially when you are converting text files between Windows, Linux, or Mac, because they use different and end-of-line conventions. So this package can convert the end-of-line characters, so it works well on different systems. Another package that I want to comment is from Matthew Boyle from the United States, and he has written a package that can retrieve statistics from NBA or MLB using an API. And this can be very useful to if you are a big fan of those sports and have a site to manage this type of information. You can collect the information that you need for your own purposes. And another package that I want to comment is PHP iTunes Search API by Yasu Siddiqui. He is from Pakistan, I think, right? And he has developed a package that can perform searches in about iPhone applications, reviews, audiobooks, ebooks, movies, music, podcasts, and TV shows that may be on the Apple platform. And they use, I think, they use RSS feeds to present the results. So this package can perform those searches and retrieve the results from RSS feeds and return the results, the parsed feeds information. So this is useful, and for this, he picked one subscription at the PHP Architect magazine, and Next, I would like to comment on tiny PHP address book from Valorema, from I think he's from Estonia.
Yep.
And
Sounds like
it's
it.
your neighbor.
Yeah.
And yeah, it has developed a package that is actually an Ajax-based user interface to manage address books that are stored in a database, and it can be accessed via PDO. So this package can manage those address books from the browser without much delay using Ajax requests. And finally, I would like to talk about the GPX library from Jakub Dubek, or sorry, he's from Slovak Republic, and this package is to manage, parse, and generate those GPX files, which are basically files with locations and other information eventually obtained via a GPS, and it can create the GPS file by adding those coordinates, and it can also do the opposite, which is to parse existing GPX files and extract the details that are in there. So this is an interesting package for those with geolocation-based applications. Now, talking about the Innovation Award winners rankings. So far, the competition has changed a bit in terms of leader. Now, Bin Azar from Bangladesh is ahead with 3 packages and 50 points, and it's followed by Sergey Vanishin with 5 packages and 49 points, and Christian Vigo from France with 3 packages and 49 points as well. In fourth comes Peter Kahl from Hong Kong with 4 packages and 35 points. Peter has been submitting many packages. It has been hard to keep up with approving all his packages, but I'm running, do my best regarding that. Then comes David Smith in 5th place with 2 packages and 31 points. Lars Moleken from Germany with 3 packages and 29 points. Vish Sadev from India with 2 packages and 27 points is in 7th. In 8th is Jelly Sebrecht from Belgium with 2 packages and 25 points. Then Asib Ahmad Basil is tied with Alessandro Quintiliano with 1 package and 21 points. By country, France is still ahead. This is coming very tight with United States. They have 6 packages and 76 points, and United States 75 points. So it's just 1 point of difference for now. So this is still going to be a difference, an interesting competition, very similar to last year when France and the United States were tied practically to the end. Then comes Bangladesh with 8 packages and 50 points. Then Russian Federation with 5 packages and 49 points. Italy with 3 packages and 38 points. India with 5 packages and 46 points. Pakistan with 3 packages and 38 points. Hong Kong who is in 8th with 4 packages and 35 points. Germany with 4 packages and 34 points is in 9th. And finally, United Kingdom with 3 packages and 27 points. So basically, for the Innovation Award winners and nominees of this month, that is all. We continue to have lots of packages, and this competition is to still continue to be very interesting. So we'll get back to this next month. So on my behalf, that is all for now. Bye.
Bye.